The Bay Area has some amazing food spots. Come with me while I'll show you some of the spots that I really enjoyed for your next trip. First place we're hitting up is Seorai Korean BBQ. I had a late flight into San Jose, so we checked this place out. To start off, here is the bonchons on the side, and we also start off with a strawberry soju. For the meats, we got brisket and marinated galbi. Both of them was pretty good, but the quality could be better. I prefer 10 Butchers over this place. Another item we got here was their cheese corn. I have to say this was the best item here. And we also got spicy rice cake with cheese. This was a huge portion, so I would skip out on this next time. Overall, I thought it was pretty decent. The next day I went to Pox Noodles. This place was crowded on a weekday and the wait was about 10 minutes. What they're known here for is for this black bean noodle. The pricing here was pretty decent. I like black bean noodles, but I usually eat it as a side dish at a Korean place, so I didn't want a whole portion to myself. Here is the jjajangmyeon, which is also known as black noodle. It was smothered in a nice sauce. It was a little bit sweet and sour with pieces of meat inside, topped off with cucumbers. This is the best black bean noodle spot that I ever had in my life, so I'll definitely come back again next time. We also got a side of their gyoza and it was very crispy and good as well. I'll definitely come back to try other dishes and get a whole bowl to myself. For a little dessert, we went to Croissante. It is right next door to Pox Noodles, so I'll definitely recommend checking it out afterwards. It is a Korean bakery and they make their pastries in-house. It was definitely hard to choose from because there were so much options. The pastries that we end up with is a kunyamen, an almond chocolate croissant, a berry Danish, and lastly a ham and cheese croissant. All the pastries tasted really good. I would definitely come back to try other pastries as well. Later for dinner that night, we went to Firehouse Gas Strobe. This little pub serves American food. Overall, I thought the food was really good, but the drinks could use a little work. This is their pineapple sour. My sister got the purple drink, and I got the old fashioned. For appetizer, we started off with the warm brie. It came with nuts, apples, and jam. With the cheese, it went really well together. Another dish we got to share was the bone and marrow. I thought it was pretty good, but 2 bread appetizer was too much. This is the bison bacon cheeseburger, and I got the Philly cheesesteak. Both of them was really good. It was well seasoned, and the meat was flavorful. Later on, we walked down to San Pedro Social. This place had an arcade along with a bowling alley. Upstairs is like a dance area. The drinks we got here was a Mexican shooter, and I got the yuzu beer. We just came here to play the shuffleboard just to digest before we went to other bars. The next place we hit up was Paper Planes. This line was poppin'. We had to wait about 20 minutes, but it was definitely worth it. Once you get in, you have to order your drinks at the counter, and it took a while. Here's the drinks that we got. It was really good and I definitely enjoyed it, but it was definitely hard to find a table. Afterwards, we hit up 55 South. I used to love this bar when my sister went to college here, but I don't know what happened, but the crowd gotten older and the drinks wasn't as good as I remembered. Next morning, we drove all the way to Napa, and the first place you hit up is Addendum. This place is only open on Fridays and Saturdays in the summer from only 11 to 2. But But you can also get some of their food at Ad Hoc, which is the same owner. And it would be indoor seatings and at outdoor seatings like this. Here we got is their small bucket of their buttermilk fried chicken. And also a side of cornbread and mac salad. It was able to feed 3 people. The food here was pretty good, and it was just a good experience to enjoy the hot sun in Napa. Later on, we drove over to Chong Bakery. It is a French bakery that is well known in Napa as well. The line is long, but it moves fairly quickly, and the bakery is very tiny inside. Here's the pastries that we ended up with. Here is the vanilla scone. The vanilla didn't shine out. We also got the butter nutter. If you're into peanut butter, you will definitely enjoy that one. We also got a cream cheese Danish. I didn't get to sample this one because we were too full. But I did demolish the chocolate eclair. This one was rich and not too sweet. Afterwards, we went to Vougeot Winery. When you go to Napa, you have to make reservations for a winery in advance. This was my first time, so we just did the Vougeot Winery because we thought about it last minute. Over here, they accepted walk-in, and you could go to their market and just drink a bottle of wines, or you could do wine sampling. The pricing for the wine tasting was pretty expensive. I think next time I will opt out just to buy bottles of wines and drink on a picnic mat and just eat food. The tasting was still an awesome experience because we got 7 tasting instead of 5 because they had to change our seating. And what makes this place unique is their wines, they only sell it at the vineyard and you're not able to buy it in stores, so you have to come here to try it. After wine tasting, we just felt a little buzz. I'd rather just buy a few bottles from here and enjoy it on the picnic mat and get some food. The next time I'm in Napa, I would definitely try other wineries and just come here just to buy a bottle or so. Later on, we went shopping, and then we went to Ristorante Allegria. Here is the pricing of the menu. I would say it was pretty reasonable. Here's their house bread. The sauce for it was really good. It was like a vinaigrette with a little tang to it. It was something I never experienced before, and they even sell their house sauce here. To start off, we got the skirt steak satay. The fried onion really went well with the steak. It had like a little crispiness to it, and the sauce dripped well onto the fried onion. This is the wild mushroom ravioli. It had a lot of veggies, and the cream was well balanced, not too rich where you get tired of eating. If you're craving for some seafood, their pappardelle allo zafferano would be their dish. It was a little bit spicy, but it went well together. For something meaty, I would recommend the tagliatelle bolognese. Overall, we really enjoyed this restaurant and I would come back. Later on that night, we drove back to San Jose area and we went to Roco's Ice Cream Tacos. The last time I was here, it was delicious, so I wanted it again, and the line was long as usual. You can customize like how I did, or you should get the king. This one is also a really good flavor. The next day, we went to a grocery store called Aran Jelly. They're known for these artichoke bread that I had to try. The side dishes here looked amazing, so we picked up one along with sandwiches to eat at the beach. Here's the food that we got. All of them was really good. I forgot to record the artichoke bread, but I will definitely get that again as well. The beach that we were at was Half Moon Bay State Beach. This place was huge and it was just a good relaxing day. Afterwards, went to Barbers Fish Trap. The wait here was pretty long, but it was definitely worth it. They're known for their clam chowder along with their fish and chips. Here's their clam chowder. It was a huge portion. It's not on the heavier side and it was very unique. I would definitely come back for it. And this is their amazing fish and chips. It was very light and airy. It had no fishy smell to it, and it has to be the best fish and chips that we both ever tried. The next day for lunch, I went to Orangi Ramen. This is a popular ramen spot in the Bay Area, though I do prefer Hironori. This place was pretty good from what I remembered, and coming back after many years, I thought it was still pretty good. To start off, we got the okonomiyaki fries. This portion was huge. We weren't able to finish with 2 people. It was good though, and the pricing for it was reasonable, so I would still get it again. Another appetizer we got was the karaage fried chicken. I thought it was very tender and juicy. The pricing was also good, and the sauce for it was also very delicious. Here's their tonkatsu ramen. Overall, it was a solid spot. I would definitely come again, and the pricing was reasonable. For dinner that day, I went to Luna Mexican Kitchen. This restaurant is on the Michelin Guide, and I'm so happy I went here. The wait here was pretty long, but I have to say this was probably my favorite experience during this trip. To start off, they give you chips and salsa. The chips here was fresh, and there's this green sauce that I never had before, and it blew our mind. We had to ask for more. An appetizer to start off with is the elote, so you can get it on a cob or in a bowl. We did the bowl because the spoon is much lighter than holding a whole cob. One corn cost $9, so next time I would just share one, but it was still pretty worth it. We saw that their salmon tacos were popular, so we had to get it. Overall, it was pretty good. It was light and refreshing. Their tortillas fresh, so if you want something light, I would get this. We also got the parillas half a pound with carnitas and steak fajita. This was the best thing here, and I will come back just for it. I would say this was reasonably priced. It definitely stuffed us, and we were able to take this to go along with extra tortillas and extra sauce. For desserts, we went to chalk cookies because we saw it all over social media, and I have to say I would not come here again. Overall, I thought the cookies were pretty mid, and it was pretty pricey. I think there's other places out there that is much better. Next morning, we went to Kissam Matcha in San Francisco. I've been eyeing this place out for a year now for their bamboo in a cup ice cream, but they didn't have it. But I didn't want to get in trouble by my sister for making her drive me all the way here and not order anything, so we did end up with this hojicha latte, and it was okay, and a banana matcha latte, and that one was not good. All I tasted was banana and ice, and we also got a vanilla matcha soft serve, and it dripped too quick. Afterwards, we went to Dragon Boat Dim Sum. This place is the same owner as Koi Palace from the last time I was in the Bay Area. To start off, they just give you the menu and you just check off whatever you want and hand it over to the waiter, just like the other spot. And I also think the pricing here was reasonable, and the items are a little bit different from Koi Palace. To start off, we got the hot tea along with the shumai. The wrapper was very soft and the meat was very tender and juicy, and I definitely enjoyed it. Another item we got was the char siu look fun. It was a good dish, nothing stood out, but I would definitely get it again. Another item we got was their steamed char siu bao buns. This is a must every time you go to a dim sum spot. If this is good, then the dim sum spot is good. We also got their Zao Long Bao. It was filled with different flavor, but the broth was all good, and the ginger sauce with it went really well together. What stood out to me the most was the durian paste bun. If you don't like durian, you might not like it because of its smell, but I enjoyed it. It was very custardy and the bun was super soft. After that big meal to digest, we went to China Beach. For a beach in the Bay Area, I have to say this was pretty nice. I would come here again, and this time around in San Francisco, I actually loved it. Afterwards, went to Golden Gate Park area. This place has a lot of museums, and we just chilled with the hot dog. The next morning, we went to Speedy Tacos. This is their menu. As you can see, the pricing here is pretty cheap, and it was pretty crowded. But after eating at Luna, this place was very mid compared to Luna, but Luna is much more expensive. Their chips here aren't freshly made and their salsa is okay. Here's the tacos that I got. I thought it was pretty good and the pricing was cheap, and their taquitos was much better. So I would come here again because it was cheap, but it's not somewhere that is mind-blowing. For my last meal in the Bay Area, I had Zari. It is on the Michelin Guide and they serve Indian food here. I got a mango lassi. It's made with yogurt, milk, and mango. I also got the chicken samosas. I thought these were pretty good. We also got the chicken tikka masala meal. It comes with rice and the curry and the bread. I thought this was delicious and I would get it again. I thought the pricing was very reasonable and the service was great. And this is it until the next.